Almost 3 years after a New Orleans police officer and his friend were killed in Houston, one of the men responsible has pleaded guilty. The two friends were simply eating at a restaurant when a robbery turned deadly. We have Mike McDaniel joining us now in studio. He has more details and reaction from friends and family. Mike.
Hey there, Sharice. Yeah, we covered the killings of Everett Briscoe and Dyron Ricolfi extensively back in 2021 when this happened. 3 people were charged with their roles or for their roles in these murders. Now, one of them was set to go on trial next week, but instead decided to take a plea deal.
That's the hand you got. That's what you got.
When Jay Banks got word of a guilty plea for a robbery that left 2 of his friends dead, there was a sigh of relief over lingering pain.
We missed them tremendously because they were both very good men. And it is a very, very, very sad thing to see young lives lost.
Those lives were 41-year-old Everett Briscoe and 43-year-old Dyron Ricolfi. The 2 friends were on a weekend trip in Houston with fellow members of the Zulu Social Aid and Pleasure Club back in August of 2021. The 2 men were shot and killed during a robbery while eating outside a restaurant.
This pain doesn't go away. It doesn't get better over time. You may very well deal with it better, but it is always a void. It is always something that's hurtful.
3 men allegedly involved in the crime were arrested. Tuesday, 22-year-old Frederick Jackson of San Antonio pleaded guilty to 2 counts of murder. With a plea deal, he was sentenced to 60 years. He'll be eligible for parole after 30 years.
60 years is a long time. It's nowhere near long enough. But the truth be told, that we're glad that there is some justice in this and that he will never be able to affect another family.
Briscoe, a 13-year veteran of the New Orleans Police Department, and Ricolfi, a Slidell business owner, leave behind their own families. Briscoe has 2 sons.
The fact that those boys don't have their daddy was the part that hurt the most, because that is what I think in life he enjoyed the most, was being their dad.
In a statement to WWL-TV, Briscoe's wife said in part, "While we know it will never bring our loved ones back, we believe this is an important first step in holding everyone accountable for the unnecessary and tragic murders of 2 great men." For Banks, whose brother was murdered back in 1979, a case still unsolved, addressing gun violence involving young adults is overdue.
Locking them up is not going to fix what happened to Everett. Making sure that no other Everett ever happens is what I think we need to be focused on.
Friends and family are still focused on healing, trying to live on without their loved ones.
Nothing about arresting or convicting or any other punishment that they could receive will make this better. The fact that our friends are no longer here is something that we will never get over.
And Briscoe's family is expected to head to Houston next week. They will face Frederick Jackson in court to give victim impact statements. Now, the other 2 suspects, a 21-year-old and a 24-year-old, still face separate trials. Katie?
All right, Mike, thanks so much.